You know, I think that when it comes to early access games, there are different ways that it can pay off for companies, but you have to be able to separate the jankiness out of the equation when you're doing, when you're playing early access. So if you're going to talk about it, you have to be willing to let a few things slide because it's not the same thing as a finished, polished product. I have really enjoyed the time that I've spent playing Rogue Trader so far. I'm learning a brand new intellectual property in Warhammer. I've been familiar with it in the sense that I knew it was a tabletop game, but there's the fantasy version, there's the science fiction version, and I've still got to wrap my head around all of that. But it's provided to you in a way here where I'm going to jump in real quick here. We'll hit the spacebar to continue. The big thing here, I've made a couple of videos on this now. This Corpus Valencius is absolutely amazing. So in terms of a research tool, especially the Annals of the Imperium, if you're someone like me who is brand new to the lore of Warhammer, this has been invaluable to get up to speed with all the things that they're presenting to you here in the game. And as much as I accept that there have been some janky moments in this game, it's early access, it's a beta, there's expected to be some jank. I think that overall what's being presented by Owlcat is a great experience, a great CRPG. Now, I've previously played Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, so I'm coming into this game already having a trust with this company. Like, I trust Owlcat to provide me with a good final experience. But I do accept that these games are big and they take a lot of effort to make, and whatever they come up with at launch is probably still going to have a few quirks in it. At the moment, there's not really too much going on in beta that takes away from it. I would say the first and foremost is that there have been some UI issues with elements overlapping that you can't click through. So a good example of this is, where's the formation? Here. When I brought up the formation menu the other day, I wasn't able to drag and drop these around at the beginning because there was another menu that I had open. And I did this on a live stream, and the menu was on top of the formation, and no matter what I did, the menu was overlapping the top part of the formation, so I couldn't actually choose any of these options, nor could I choose the top character to move around. And now you'll see, now we're on this one, the T, and suddenly I can't drag these around. So there's still some, I can here, but on T, I can't move any of those characters. This one I can, this one I can, this one I can. Nope, that one they're locked. That one, they're locked. So see, even here, we're seeing some jank. We're seeing some bugginess with the formation window. That's something that I'm sure will get worked out long term, and there's a variety of things that could be factoring into why this isn't working. But there was I've seen some UI elements sort of overlapping a little bit, and there's been some issues with the formation thing here. So it is what it is. It's not a big deal. I've been able to come in here to the ones I want and just customize them as they want. So that's all that matters to me. So it's not a big deal. Obviously, not all of the classes are in yet. So if you're playing the beta, and I'm seeing on my screen that my green screen might have some wonky. I don't know what that was. Yeah, there is. Hang on. What's down here? I don't know what that was. There was like a blue something bleeding through. What was that? I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm imagining things. All right, well, let's go back to this. Oh, I know what that is. It says down there at the bottom. It's the
Let's proceed.
It's this thing right here, guys. It was this thing right here, whatever that is. That was the way it was down in the bottom of my. It was like the bottom left of my down here, and I thought that like my green screen was messed up down there. I'll leave that in just so you guys could chuckle at me laughing. Not all the classes are in. That's not a big deal. That's to be expected with beta. Not all of the classes and stuff were in with Baldur's Gate 3. I would say for me, my favorite elements so far of the Rogue Trader experience have been the UI itself is beautiful. I love everything about this. So you bring up the character menu, right, with the I button. But then you can go through and you have the various tabs and everything else. But going from here into the various like this is the inventory, and then this is the character panel. This is the journal, right? And then those three in particular, the way that it kind of, if you look at it, it's sort of, if it's like a book and your character is in the middle, I like the way instead of just being a flat surface like this, it's curved towards you, so it's almost like you're looking at a V. It's like a slight angle going into the character as opposed to being just flat panels, if that makes sense. And I just feel that it feels very good, and it makes you feel like the focal point is your character, because you're looking down the tunnel and you're focusing your vision on the character in the middle, which is really well done. And then, you know, also here on the right hand side, that right there is the flat, you know, 3D square, edges are all lined up with everything. But then on this side, this panel is the one that's leaned back as if it's sort of like opening up a little bit. So I really like the way the UI feels and looks. And then here's the traditional, just flat out all the way across, everything's square and aligns with the edges. And you've got your quests, rumors, orders. The sound effects are really good. The map, getting to the Corpus Valencius, all the details you can read through here. And then you get into stuff like this, which I haven't even gotten to a tutorial on this because I'm not deep enough into the experience. But I know there's ship-based combat, which if I had to guess, having played Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, if I had to guess, this is going to be the campaign management aspect. So remember the first two games, if you've never played the Owlcat games, basically, essentially what it was the first two Pathfinder games that they did, there was the CRPG element of what was going on, and then there was like the kingdom management, not the campaign management, I misspoke there. There's the campaign that you're doing, and then there's the kingdom management side. So in the first game, it was managing a kingdom, and the second game was managing an army as you were on the move. And if I had to guess, this is going to be that part of the game. It's going to be your warship and ship battles and everything else, and that's going to be sort of an extra thing. Now, what I don't know yet, because I haven't gotten deep enough into the game, in the first two games that Owlcat did, if you wanted to just turn the kingdom management off and only focus on the CRPG, you could just turn it off and it would simulate those battles for you so that you didn't have to do those. I don't know how it's going to be presented here. I would imagine that, you know, if the ship-to-ship combat is fun, that's not going to be something I have a problem with. But if the ship-to-ship combat is boring or tedious, I'm going to want to be able to turn that off. And if I'm forced to play through it, that's going to be something that takes me out of it long term. But I can't speak to it yet because I just don't know. And there's also, you know, this cargo list and the way that you could do your cargo, which this is really cool, by the way. Like, as you drop items into the cargo, like, as you put ranged weapons in here, it just adds to the ranged weaponry until there's 100%. Melee weaponry, miscellaneous, ship components, and so on and so forth. So I like this right here. And then you could go in here and break it down and say, oh, well, I want to look at, you know, like, look at all the... can I do sorting? You can, if you wanted to. So there's all sorts of stuff you can look at here, but I just like the way the UI is laid out so far. Profit factor is representation of the relative value of the rogue trader's warrant of trade and what opportunities and resources it call upon. Yeah, there's a lot to assimilate here, guys, because there's just, that's the thing here. Like, I feel like with what Owlcat has done so far, I remember going into Pathfinder. I had never played Pathfinder tabletop before I played Kingmaker, and I remember the reason I picked it up was because it was on GOG right after it came out, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool, I want to go play that. And I had known what Pathfinder was because of my tabletop experiences. I had just never played it as a rule set, and it's the same thing with Warhammer. So I was introduced to Pathfinder through the Owlcat games, and one of the things I feel like they've succeeded at, where a lot of companies haven't, is taking licensed properties and doing justice to them. Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, if you've not played those are each one of those games is 100 hours plus, easy. I mean, Wrath of the Righteous in particular, you can get 200-300 hours out of that, much like you can with Baldur's Gate 3. So for those of you who really like the CRPG, that immersive CRPG experience, you know, their first two games are really, really in depth. This feels similar to their first two games, but it's also a lot different. So far, you know, I've just been doing the introduction. I've already spent a few hours in here so far just soaking it all up. A lot of time has been spent reading all the information. But so far I haven't had any crashes or anything like that. I have had...
Experience. Nothing matters more.
I have had the UI stuff and those things, but that's not that big of a deal. And you'll notice that tutorial, like, they're still missing some art in where it says tutorial. Like, they're still missing some key art here. But otherwise, everything has been really well done, the way they've laid out the tutorials and everything else. Sound effects are great, the music is great.
The Emperor is with us.
Here's this combat scenario. So also learning about combat has been very well done. It's presented in an easy to understand format. It's turn-based, so you don't have to worry about really anything overwhelming you, because hang on, I gotta move my characters around here. Abelard, you're melee, so let's get you up in here. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Babylonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with super chats on any live stream or premiere, or super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. Your range, let's get you up here. Get you up in here. And then once you've placed them, you can. This is the one weird thing, because like in a lot of turn-based games, once you start combat, you just go and you're moving during the fight. But in this one, at least so far what I've seen, you actually do all your placement before the battle starts, and then you click start the battle, and then you go from here. Because it already did all the initiative rolls at the beginning, so it's just set up before you start, and then the attacks happen based on. Anyway, I've had to learn a few things that they didn't actually tell me in the tutorial until after I'd done them. Things like there's friendly fire, and so you can absolutely shoot your guys with lasers, and you have abilities that can help you avoid doing that. So I have literal abilities with my guy who uses a laser rifle to like shoot but not hit his enemies. I think it's called it's something along the lines of like call out, like you're calling your shot, and you're telling your friends, hey, I'm shooting in this direction, and they get out of the way. So there's a lot going on here, and I would say that if you like turn-based gameplay and you like deep RPGs with good storylines and everything else, then I'd say that Rogue Trader is probably going to be something you want to play. As far as the beta goes, because this is what I'm playing, this is my early thoughts on the beta. I know I'm a few months late getting to this because I was too busy with Baldur's Gate 3 to worry about this game at the time when the beta dropped this summer. I'm a little concerned that they don't have voiceovers yet for like all the text, because in their previous 2 games they had extremely well done voiceovers for at least the major cutscenes and the major characters. And this time around, I've not seen any voiceovers other than the combat stuff, or like when you're clicking to do something, I'll do that, or run, charge, that kind of stuff. I've not seen any of the dialogue be narrated, and I don't know if that's something that's coming in the launch version of the game, or if they just didn't have the budget to do a voiceover for this one. I don't know yet. But overall, I'd say my early thoughts are there's a lot to learn. I'm still learning. I'm already producing guides for this game, and I will be playing this probably exclusively throughout the month of December. This is my December game. This is the game I'm going to be playing once it launches. I do plan on playing it on the Xbox rather than the PC, but I'm doing all my R&D on the PC because you can't do early access on the Xbox yet. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've played it, let me know in the comments below, or if you've got more information you'd like to let me know about, drop that down there as well. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And to keep me on the air full time, all you got to do is drop a super thanks on this video, or join as a member to support. There's lots of private member videos, member-only live streams, and the like. But if you appreciate what I do, that's the easiest way to keep me doing it. Join the Discord, links are down below, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Till then, stay safe and happy gaming, everybody.